It's summertime, at least it is here in Australia. Welcome. In this show, we're going to go through a little bit of what's going on around the next month or so here on the channel, get you all updated and get you ready to rock and roll for a big December coming up just around the corner. I hope you're doing well, whether you're watching live or on the replay. I hope you're having yourself a good old day and week. I thought I'd kick off today with a bit of a summer song. This is one from the back catalogue, and a friend of mine, Mike from Creative Source, reminded me of this song because it went into his feed today. He's like, "Oh, you went to a lot of effort back in those days, Johns," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't do so much these days." So I thought we'd open with this one because it's my favourite kind of summer feel-good vibe song that I've done before. This is my song "Be Cool," and we're going to kick off with this one, and then we're going to have a chat. So settle in for the next hour. This one's going to just be a bit casual. So be cool, people. Well, there's just one thing you should know about me, and that's that I don't like people who don't like people too much. Some may say that it's really okay. Never don't like people who born that way. But every choice and decision we make is an opportunity to make a difference to someone, and whether that someone is someone you love or just a perfect stranger on the side of the road. Be cool to everybody you know. Be cool to everybody in the world. Be cool, 'cause one day you could need a helping hand. Be cool. Well, some people appear to be living in fear of the color of your skin or the people that you hang with, and people may say it's your choice to be gay, or you're living on the street 'cause you lack motivation. But if we all could just live and let live, and remember that our friends have a right to be different, instead of this hate we could just celebrate that we're living in a world where we all have a choice to be cool to everybody you know. Be cool to everybody in the world. Be cool, 'cause one day you could need a helping hand. Be cool. Be cool to everybody you know. Be cool to everybody in the world. Be cool, 'cause one day you could need a helping hand. Be cool. Cool like Fonzie. Be cool, are you cool? Be cool, everybody, and I hope you are feeling cool on this wonderful day. So it is summertime here. I was waiting to see who the first comment. Who wins? Who wins summer? Well, it's our friend ZK Gaming. It's not summertime. It's winter time. I know. It's weird. There's two hemispheres, and it's the opposite in different parts of the world. But I hope you're all doing well. I've got my very cool icy drink that is quickly melting here because it's about 31 degrees in the studio here today. So I have my my air conditioner remote ready to go in case it gets a little bit warmer. And we have our non-denominational shiny pyramidal ornament here so that we can celebrate holidays because it's the holidays. Today what we're going to go through is I want to do a little bit of a reminisce about 2021. Not for those reasons, but I think there's we don't do Thanksgiving here in Australia, but there's a heap to be thankful about around the community, around the technology we have. I say it a lot, but we live in the future. And I wanted to get your feedback and any comments that you have about that. So as we come here into December, then what is it that is the best thing about creating music in 2021? So I'm going to go through a few different things, but there's a poll, a survey there on the YouTube at the moment, so you can feel free to answer that one. I've thrown it out there, and we'll close that one off in a moment. So what is the best thing about it? Is it the technology? Is it the social media? Is it the accessibility? Is it the community? So you can go ahead and answer that poll as we get into things here today. Who haven't I said g'day to? I haven't said g'day to Dr. Zorders, who's here, and Clayton Von Kluge, Patrick Chandler, different styles. G'day to you, Friggsy, to Thomas Christ, to who have I missed? Everyone. Mark Burrow is here, Patrick Chandler. Yeah, I know. I'm more cool freezing. I know. I thought that was a bit funny. Be cool, and it's very cold for people that are in different parts of the world. And hello to Solrak M7. One of the other reasons I'm doing a show here today is that the Rangers aren't playing today because they were supposed to be playing the Islanders, but they've had some games postponed because of the C word. Because we have a global P word, and now we've got the E word, the C word is the thing again. Don't worry, we'll get there, people. But yeah, what is the best thing about 2021? So the key things for me, we'll go through this and then I'll give you, by the way, we're going to do a quick studio update. I've got a few new bits of gear that I'm going to tell you about. We're going to tell you a little bit about a project that I'm going to work on shortly, and I'll give you a bit of an update on what the shows are going to be over the next month and into 2022. What's the regular schedule going to be? Because there's a few little tweaks, but nothing dramatically that's going to change around here. And I don't promote Patreon a lot, but I thought I would throw it out there because we just had a fun Patreon live stream over at the Patreon page. And if you're not a patron of the channel, you can join. You can join the other 77 very cool people, many of whom are here. And yeah, we just did this one. We just did Patreon live. So if you like these sort of more casual behind the scenes kind of things, then feel free to join us at Patreon. It is just studiolivetoday.com/Patreon or patreon.com/PeteJohns, and you can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and it really does help out. Like, that's the thing. It does help because for those of you that are independent contractors or self-employed, yeah, in this day and age, as many of you know, if you're musicians and if you're creators and if you're trying to make a living or even a side hustle and a side income, it's all of the things. Like if I just did YouTube and just relied on Google's AdSense revenue, couldn't pay the bills. If I just did Patreon, couldn't pay the bills. If I just did sponsored shows with people like DistroKid, couldn't pay the bills. But if you bring all that stuff together, the sum of those parts means that I can pencil together. No, that's not the right word. I can scrape together a full-time job out of doing what I do here on Studio Live Today, and I can do that thanks to you. And if you choose not to be a patron, that's cool too. You can support me in other ways, like subscribing to the channel and watching videos. And what is it that they say, that the kids are saying? Like, comment, and subscribe. There you go. There's me on Patreon. Mark says, that's not the way I wanted to learn the Greek alphabet, that's for sure. I know. We're like, hang on, epsilon, what are we up to now? I don't know. I don't say the actual words. If you wonder why I don't say the words, it's because YouTube flags. They're listening for those words, and then I'll get one of those little things underneath saying, this may be providing information that is not correct and is not relevant. And I'm like, I don't need that because we're talking music. All right. So what's the best thing about creating music in 2021? For me, the people is pretty big. So I think they all kind of merge together and access each other. So the people meaning that we can have accessibility. So if you went back 10 years ago, we could sort of do this. Maybe we'd be in Yahoo chat rooms and we'd be talking about music, but could we be sharing multimedia, sharing our files, sharing our songs, sharing our videos across countries, across borders, across the world? No, not really. And if you go back 20 years ago, for those that were around in 2001, yeah, just not possible at all. Those of us that were nerds and were on the internet, again, we were sharing text stuff. Occasionally you could do an audio chat, but it was, of a 56K modem, it wasn't exactly going to be a great experience. We have this ubiquitous thing called the internet now, and whatever you want to say about social media, which is kind of the connection of that, the technology and the social media aspect of it, it has its challenges, but it is the first true sort of two-way communication we've had, and the ability to communicate with large groups of people, despite the fact that things like the GarageBand users Facebook group for your GarageBand users out there is kind of broken at the moment. All of the moderators and admins at the moment are trying to get it fixed. So if you are a member of the GarageBand users Facebook group and you'd be wondering, hey, is it just me? I've been having problems. No, it's not just you, it's everyone. So join the Create, Record, Release Facebook group would be my recommendation there. That seems to be working for whatever reason. It is literally, I'm a member of maybe 10 different groups on Facebook, and it is literally just the GarageBand users Facebook group that is not working. So if you want to join another group, and if you're having trouble with that, jump on over here, createrecordrelease.com. We got 1,100 of you awesome people there, and it's a very, very good community. Exactly as Thomas says here, it's great that we have the awesome community to share and to support each other. And support is important too. The support and the encouragement that everyone gives each other is really, really cool. Colin Standard says, for me, it's accessibility. Yeah, I think accessibility of the tools that we have, again, they're all connected, aren't they? Because the technology and the people, you need the technology to connect with the people to have the accessibility to do the things we do. And I know for Colin, for you in particular, you've just started using DistroKid to release your music. So getting your music out there through DistroKid, can you imagine? Just think about that. Your music is in all the same places as Madonna. Or as Britney Spears. Why did I go with those two? Or as Muse, Foo Fighters. Let's go with that. So yeah, you've got the ability to get your music out there and onto Spotify and Apple Music and all the places, just as if like it was Tower Records in 2001 and your CD sitting there next to Foo Fighters. Like, it's the same sort of thing, and it's kind of crazy. It's kind of nuts. Yeah, and thank you. By the way, thank you, Mark. Yeah, 99.9. Yeah, does anyone know 100 people that they want to invite along to the community? Because we could use 100 more. No, thank you. I appreciate it, because, yeah, it's going to be hopefully a pretty cool Christmas present for me. As much as... Look, here's the thing about numbers, and I've said this before about streaming numbers and Spotify followers and YouTube subscribers and all the rest of it. They're vanity metrics, yeah? They're things that just, you look at it, you're like, oh, that looks nice. Doesn't actually do anything. Like, it doesn't, I'm not, but whether I have 99,000 or 100,000 subscribers isn't going to be helping me, apart from the fact that I'll hopefully be able to help 1,000 more people create, record, and release their best music. But it is a nice recognition thing. And I know, like, when Patrick reached his 100,000 recently over at the GarageBand Guide, I was super stoked for him. And I thought it was such a cool achievement for someone I know has been working their butt off. So, yeah, it is all good. Sorry, I did see another comment here. Hello to Bubba, if I didn't say g'day to you, and anyone else who is here. There you go. You could be. I know, I should do a sweepstakes. You could be the 100,000th. Actually, my daughter was the 99,000th. Can't say that because I got a lisp. So that's the thing. The accessibility, YouTube 2021. They did let it do with a lisp on the internet on a YouTube channel. Not to be self-deprecating, but I wasn't getting my own TV show about music 10 years ago or 20 years ago. YouTube has given everyone the freedom and the accessibility to do everything. Yeah, I'll give a couple more. Yeah, sorry, that wasn't a call out to say go and find all the different accounts you haven't subscribed, because that would be lovely. Thank you, but I say this a lot, that there's good subscription and bad subscription, and I think sometimes there's channels that grow really, really fast, but they're doing it because they're pushing subscriptions, or they're doing giveaways where people have to subscribe and like and comment and tweet and all that sort of stuff. They grow, but you kind of attract what you put out in the world, don't you? So if I did that, I could probably easily get myself another 20,000 subscribers if I gave away iPhones. But A, it would cost a lot of money, and B, the people that came along would be coming for the giveaway. And do they care about GarageBand? Do they care about mixing and mastering and creating and any of that sort of jazz? Probably not. So, yeah, there are such as good as thing as good subscriptions and bad subscriptions. And I say that about all music creators, because the last thing you want, especially if you're creating music that is in a niche, you don't want a bunch of people that don't like your music subscribing to you out of, obligation or pity or whatever, because if they don't listen to it, guess what? Your music goes down. The algorithm picks up on that, and it will stop promoting your music and your videos to even your subscribers who do want to see it. So it can actually have the reverse impact on your channel to do that. And that's why sub for sub, like for like, comment for comment. That's why all that stuff is so bad, because it really doesn't help anyone. Attract the people that like your stuff. So there'll be enough people that will like your stuff to do it. I do like ice cold water, I must admit. So the mobility, that is another thing about 2021. The very fact that I'm sitting here in the studio, I have my phone. This is where I edit my videos. So if you watched yesterday's video about the new apps, speaking of which, I'm going to add that to the list. I want to check on the apps and just see, because the time is running out for you to pick up some of the holiday specials at the moment. But the fact that mobility-wise, you can pick up your phone and be out on the go, and the fact that this thing's sitting in front of me, like I've got this iPad that sits in front of me here, and this is my entire studio, and then I just fold it up like that and walk out the door and take it with me and then bring it in, and with one plug, I'm back here in the studio, I'm plugging in my gear. I can get a microphone and a guitar, and with a 2-channel interface, I can record directly into my iPhone in 44.1 kilohertz 24-bit quality. Now, for anyone that recorded in the past that was using things like 4-track recorders or any of the other home recording gear that we used to have to use, yeah, it's unrecognizable in terms of that. Like when we first started doing desktop recording and MIDI and recording WAV files and that sort of thing back in when I used to use a PC, I thought that was phenomenal. And if you told me again that 10 years later I'd be doing that on my phone, would have called you a liar, a dirty stinking liar. So yeah, the mobility is cool. Community we've talked about, but it shouldn't be understated that this is a lonely gig, right? So people that record in their own home studios, that sit in their own audio caves, that just are creating music, sometimes you get all up in your own head, and sometimes you need that outlet. You need other people that you can talk to about music. You need other people that you can share your music with that are going to give you honest and direct feedback sometimes. Sometimes they'll just be there to tell you that everything's okay, because a lot of the time we as creators, the royal we as creators are up in our own heads. We're often overthinkers. We're often more introverted types, not all of us, but often. And we are often our own biggest critic and our own worst enemy when it comes to knowing what's good and what's not. So it is good to have that, to people that can pull you up and say, Pete, you do mix your vocals too loud, and then I can fix it. And also people to say, it's actually not that bad, Pete. I know that you think that Down Under cover that you worked on last month is an absolute dog's breakfast, but it's actually not that bad. And I'll go, thank you, but I still think it's pretty bad. But we'll keep working on it. I'll be working on that, but I just had to take a pause from it. It wasn't going the way I wanted to, so I pivoted. That's the whole thing. If you're working on something, I've always said, music should be fun. If you're not having fun with your music, then maybe you need to stop and do something else for a little while. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think it's vodka. Oh, you reckon vodka? Oh, I could totally get away with that. A G&T in here. Just a few wedges of lemon in there. YouTube dislike. Yeah, the YouTube dislike thing is a bit weird. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit. When recording, it's change keys important or no? That's a good question, James. So we're going to be a bit all over the place today. So we'll pause and answer this one from James, and then we'll finish off our conversation about creating in 2021, because I think it's an interesting one. Is changing keys important or no? There aren't a lot of key changes. I was listening to a lot of 70s and 80s music the other day, and I noticed that there was a particular thing that they did back in the 70s and 80s in particular, and a little bit through the 90s and 2000s, but it was a key change where it just went up a tone, or sometimes even a semitone. Did you notice that? Like that last verse, it was like, if you like pina colada, if you like pina colada, like it would just go up a tone or a semitone. And it really created some interest. And I thought, I don't do a lot of that. Like just going from, if you're playing in G major, just suddenly go to A major for the last verse or the final chorus. It would be a cool thing. I think, look, music is going the other way, isn't it? It's weird because in the 3-chord, 4-chord 90s, everyone was very critical that people weren't using enough chords and that there wasn't enough interesting arrangement going on. And then we kind of hit the 2010s and the 2020s, and you got literally 1-chord songs. The amount of songs that are just built around one beat and one loop and one chord is quite amazing. There's a video I actually saw the other day all about this, and it was quite interesting. Let's see if I can find it here. It is 1-chord songs. It was by David Bennett Piano, who's a very, very cool creator. And he talked about, songs that only use one chord. And it's something that's been going for a long time, so it's not like a brand new thing, but it's really interesting. Check out this video. Let's just copy that one. I'll throw that link here in the chat. Go watch that, because David Bennett Piano, really good piano player, but also a really good content creator, and has some really interesting stuff over there. Excellent question, though. Good stuff. I'm more interested in what will replace Facebook. If any of the big social sites will go down for good, it will be... I get the feeling, Thomas. I get the feeling Facebook are doing some things wrong. Like they're too big to fail, but that's what has happened. People have failed before because they were too big to fail. Blockbuster were too big to fail, and then Netflix came and they completely revamped it. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I like Facebook, but I like Facebook not for its platform or its features. I like it for the people that are there. And if those people were somewhere else, I would just go somewhere else. So maybe Discord is the future. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how we go. Yeah, I think so too. Twitter is kind of obsolete. Yeah, I think Twitter is on its way out. Not on its way out, but Twitter is used very much by like media people and sort of if you want to. It used to be like the water cooler conversations for Twitter, for social media, and these days it tends to be more. I don't know what it is. It's more like entertainment news. It's more like, hey, if I want to go and stalk The Rock and see what film set he's on at the moment, I can do that. Or it's more for media people. And I think tech people love it. Like the real nerdy tech people, like the next level tech nerds. I think they love Twitter still too. Southern Carolina checking in, Abraham. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for being here. Hello, Joe, Glenn. G'day to you. Finding this, yeah, and that's the thing. If you're in a small city or a small town, like for me, Adelaide's pretty big. Adelaide's got 2 million people in it, but I don't think there's anyone like Samantha Ed. Shout out to you, Kyan, who I interviewed last week, is a great musician here in Adelaide. Like we do have a music scene here in Adelaide, but if I had to find enough people that were interested in mobile recording and GarageBand just in Adelaide, I would struggle big time. But the fact that we can have folks dialing in from Canada and from the UK and from the US and from Europe and from New Zealand and from across Australia, it's pretty darn cool. It's pretty cool. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Zorders. Hey, Peter, you are late. Straight to the principal's office. Dark rum. I love some dark rum, by the way. Yeah, iced tea. Okay, because so one thing I like, not the one thing, one of the things I like about the US is that y'all drink yourselves a lot of iced tea. So whenever you go to a restaurant, it's just such, like, you got those big ass chunky plastic cups full of iced tea. Like if you're in a cafe or a restaurant, it's always iced tea, whereas it is just not drank anywhere else in the world. And I think it's one of those things that I don't think folks in the US realize it until someone from outside the US comes in and says, "What's with you guys and the iced tea? Why are you drinking iced tea at every meal?" But yeah, I actually liked it. I dug it because I prefer an iced tea to a Coke or a soft drink personally. I do like just ice cold water though. That's not bad. We'll catch up on there. Pleased to meet the crew. Yeah, welcome aboard. There is a great community here. Oh yeah, drink that much vodka. Yeah, I'll be doing some. I'll be having you're going to have a bad time. Hey, Deep Gravity. I hope you are doing well. I'll just scroll down to see if I've caught up on everything. Same. Yeah, Facebook is meh, just because. Exactly. Discord, I've got to try out. I'm going to try Discord and Discord, which is the old site that was a music one. They've called the same thing. Twitter is for trolls and stuff. Does anyone use Reddit? Yeah, look, I do use Reddit occasionally. So Reddit is a weird one. There is a GarageBand group on Reddit that I am part of. Oh, geez, I've got a lot of notifications over here. But yeah, I've posted on Reddit. I've posted on Reddit before. I've got 3,500 karma, so I've obviously been doing some of the right things there. But yeah, the GarageBand. If we search Reddit for GarageBand. Yeah, it's a lot of the same people. So yeah, 22,000 members over there on GarageBand. All the info you need to become a GarageBand pro. I don't actually know. Does anyone know who the mods are on the Reddit GarageBand? I'm not sure. I post there occasionally, but I don't tend to have the time to go and check them all out. Live music is almost... Yeah, live music is going to... Look, I'm hoping it makes a big comeback, but it's going to struggle because more people are more like me these days, which is that they're not super keen for all the things you can do in your own audio cave, not being exposed to people and loud noise and lines and cues and all the rest. It doesn't appeal to me as much as it used to. Because it used to be the only place you could do that. Whereas I can sit back here and watch Jade perform live from the comfort of my own studio. So, and I can do my live performances from here, and it just works. So, there you go. Oh, you got sent there today. Did you get sent to the principal's office at school? Naughty. Do they still do detention at school? Do you get detention where you have to go and sit in detention? No. Yep, no, we don't drink iced tea. Look, you can buy iced tea, but it's very, very rare. Very rare to see someone drinking iced tea. How do we get on to drinks? I don't know. I drink water juice, water juice, soda, and drink mix. That's it. Yeah. Oh, Bubba don't tweet, but maybe Bubba should Reddit. I'd like to see Bubba on Reddit. Could be interesting. You go down the rabbit hole on Reddit, don't you? Yeah, you can buy it from the supermarket. You get the Lipton iced tea, but it's just like in a bottle. But it's not. It's not like it literally was. Like every second person was drinking big ass cups of iced tea, and like lots of them. Like, you know how much caffeine's in that stuff? Yeah, anyway, good luck. See, I tried to create a subreddit, and I tried to do a Discord as well. Maybe I need to revisit some of those. Maybe that's it. And then there's TikTok. Let's see. Can I get to my TikTok from a desktop? I'm not sure. I don't know how it works. I think it might be a little bit like the Instagram where you can't get to it. Oh yeah, I can get there. Okay. So I've got a few TikToks that I've got here. Look, some of them have had a few views. Sorry, I'm looking at stuff that you're not looking at. I've experimented on TikTok, and like the weird thing about TikTok is that the stuff that I've tried to do that's a bit serious, or at least that I thought might be okay, gets no views, and then I just do some random little thing that's just off the top of my head, and it gets all the views. So it's a weird world of TikTok out there, but yeah, I liked this one. This was back when my children actually did do music. This was them. Can we get some sound here? Let's see. It's back when my daughter was playing the drums. She now doesn't. And at the same time, this was making me proud back in the day. At the same time, my other daughter was playing piano. And it just worked perfectly. Yeah, so there is TikTok, but it's a weird, wild world out there. All right. Arnold Palmer, is that the iced tea and something? Yeah, too much sugar in bought iced tea. Yeah. I'm just going to catch up on the. All right, I think I'm caught up. Let's go back to the poll and finish the poll in just a moment. It's still playing in the background there. Hang on, I've got to turn that off. So what did we talk about? Yeah, the accessibility, the distribution. We talked about that as well. Having something like DistroKid, which I use, or any distribution method that you can get your stuff out there. Like, again, if you told me for $20 a year you can release your music online to every platform in the world, that would be insane. I would have called you a liar, a dirty stinking liar. And the collaboration. I'm working on a collaboration at the moment, which I can't talk about because it's super hush-hush top secret. But the collaborations and the ability to collaborate, like here's an example that's just wandered in. Here's Patrick Chandler. The Chandler brothers are able to collaborate from different states and different places across the US. You've got the Saigon Slick and the Boston Bard sitting in Ho Chi Minh City and in Boston, and then they can just create music. The song we did, the one I did with the GarageBand user guys, with Mike Holmes and Steve Mara and Ron Ward, where we did Handle with Care. Like, just the ability to share this stuff, and for me, people can send, and Jay doing mixing and mastering for other people's songs, and just everything works so well. And look, there's challenges. And look, when things go wrong, when technology fails, and you're like, oh, I can't, like this thing with the Facebook group at the moment, it's like, how could in 2021 this be a thing? And then you think, well, actually, it's a group of 13,000 people, and the group itself, Facebook aside, the group itself has worked kind of flawlessly for a really long time. So I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, created a TikTok account but never used it. Yeah, I don't use it a whole lot. And what else do we have? Yeah, so YouTube. Look, let's be honest. This thing's ridiculous. The fact that you can put your music and I can put my videos, and you can create a music video. You can create a music video in iMovie on your phone and then upload it to YouTube. And for free, they will host it and they will enable anyone in the world to watch it at any time. That, I know for anyone under the age of 30 where this stuff is just ubiquitous, that doesn't seem very impressive. But for those of you like me that were part of the early days of the web, do you remember how difficult it was to host content? To host your own music or your own videos, it was hard enough to host like graphics, and you'd set up your site on, what were the platforms? The weird one that Google bought and then destroyed, GeoCities, the old GeoCities. There was one called Tripod that I used. So they were like free platforms, but you got, I think it was in the vicinity of 50 megabytes of storage. And then if too many people looked at your stuff because you were too popular, the bandwidth costs so much money that you couldn't afford. Like, you'd have to buy a package so that you could host and stream, and that would be like 56 kilobit per second real movie files. So there'd be like a 3 megabyte file, and it would be like a postage stamp 160 by 160, and people would watch that and go, man, I can't believe I'm watching video on the internet. Forget about live, forget about any of this sort of stuff we're doing right now. It was amazing. It is crazy where we've come from and where we're going. John David Lees is doing well on TikTok, is he? See, I don't know. JDL, he needs to promote that a little bit more. Yeah, Angel Fire, that was the other one, Thomas, wasn't it? GeoCities and Angel Fire, yeah. All the old dudes and dudettes are nodding their head like this now. Yeah. Gordium says, when I was in college, textbooks said that you'll never be able to upload high-quality video and stream because of technical limits. Next year, I think YouTube came out. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, what was I saying before? Too big to fail. And, never say never. Never say something's impossible to do. So right now, I'll have a drink and then I'll have a rant. Right now, we're saying things like the latency of internet connections. Like, you're watching this right now, but you're probably watching me from 2 or 3 seconds ago, or sometimes up to 5 or 10 seconds. It's just the nature of live streaming and the nature of packet delivery of data. And depending on the size of your connection, the size of your pipe, there'll be more or less of it coming through. Just inhaled a fly, I think, or some sort of flying insect. Gross. But what was my point? I'm getting distracted by that. But yeah, don't discount the fact that in 10 years' time, with the speed and with the technology and with the upgrades, we'll probably be able to have live collaborations. It's getting close. Like, we just need to take that gamer technology where they get their fast pings and their high throughputs and turn that into actual streaming, and we'll lose it. It's pretty close. If you're on a Zoom call or you've been on Skype or FaceTime lately, yeah, it's still a little bit, but again, remember where we came from. Remember the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 second delay you had on video conferencing. Now, what is it? Half a second, quarter of a second, sometimes a tenth of a second. We're in the milliseconds now in terms of delay. Who's to say that in 10 years' time, it won't be so close to real time that you'll actually be able to play with a live band in different places? I think so. Is it my tone that I'm being sarcastic? I don't know. I am sarcastic quite often. It's part of being Australian. Clayton Von Kluge working on a Christmas song. Can't believe how rusty I am on Christmas songs. I'm working on remember web rings? Yes, I do remember web rings. If you're too young to remember web rings, it was like a thing you put at the bottom of your web page, and then someone would be on your web page, and they'd just click the next random web page on the web ring, and then they go visit someone else's page. It was a way to kind of... It was sub for sub before there was sub for sub, because you wanted people to visit that page. You wanted your little ticker at the bottom to show more visitors. You wanted more people to sign your guest book. Oh, it's fun. I'm actually working on a new series that I'm doing just for fun, again, over on Studio Live Yesterday, my other channel that I've just kicked off, where I found all of my old Net Guide magazines. So these are like little magazines, think TV Guide, but for the internet. When the internet first came out, they were like, people are going to want to know how to use the internet. So they sold these little Net Guide magazines, and I was thumbing through some the other day. And my goodness, it's fun. Like they talk about, the information superhighway and surfing the net. Like, they literally are using the terminology like that. And some of the websites and some of the technologies and even the ads are amazing. Like, you look at the prices of some of the computers that they were selling back then. Like, spend $5,000 for like a 486 or a Pentium 1. Yeah, a lot of fun. So what I'm basically doing is taking photos of each page, and then we're just going to do like a live hang on Studio Live Yesterday, just for some fun. So keep an eye out over the holiday period, because that could be a lot of fun, I think. I had a book that was a list of there was like books that you could get about that. What is internet exactly? It's the inner netting that keeps you secure in your swimming trunks. Hello, Wi-Fi. Dropping in for a second to say hi. Did you say hi? No, I just drove by. Studio Live yesterday. Yeah, there you go. I'm nearly at 100 subscribers, which means I can then get an actual custom URL. So at the moment it's youtube.com/channel/bloody-bloody-bloody-blah. Actually, you know what I should do? Why don't I do it right now? I'll redirect, because I actually bought Studio Live today, studioliveyesterday.com. So I'll come over here and I'll sign into my hover.com, which is what I use for all my web domains. And let's just redirect, until I actually get something done, let's redirect it so that you can just go to studioliveyesterday.com, because a bunch of people are like, I can't find it. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's because it's only got 2 videos on there. And not until more people have searched for it, they won't find it. So we'll come over here and we'll do a forward. We'll forward my domain. So where are we? Studioliveyesterday.com. We'll come in here. What is it costing me? Yeah, $16 a year. Good stuff, me. All right, forward this domain. So we're going to forward the regular domain, and we're going to forward it to the channel that it is. So hang on, I've got to find it now, because I can't copy from what Thomas just put in there. This way, rather than you have to go and do a complicated thing, and then Thomas, you can update your moderator notes to just say, if you want to check out the new channel, go to studioliveyesterday.com. Save the forward. There you go. That'll go in. That'll update the DNS settings. It'll usually takes about 5 or 10 minutes, and then it'll be available. So there you go. Studio Live Yesterday for all you folks looking for some nostalgia. We should have a live celebration when you hit 100K. Yeah, I'm working out exactly what I do with that. So I'm probably doing a couple of live things. So the weeks are filling up with other folks doing live things. So I think Friday around this time, not this week, but next week will probably be when we'll do something like that. And then we're doing a holiday ween kind of variety fun time, couple of hours with Georgie, but not till closer to Christmas. So we'll do a kind of a couple of things like that. So it'll be fun. You know me, I can't resist going live. Today I went live for basically no reason, but no, just for fun. Let's close off the poll, and we'll see what people like the best about this. I think it's been some good discussion, and you folks have provided some really good insights and information. Hello, Bear. There's a bear in there. What have you got in front of you, Bear? Is that an icon that StreamYard can't decipher? Is it the bear icon? I'll have to jump over to the chat here and see what it is. Dave, because Dave Fox is there. It's showing the same on YouTube. It's a weird, maybe it's an unsupported character emoji. Emojis are weird like that. So interestingly, 5% of you say that the best thing about creating in 2021 is social media. 12% say accessibility, and look, 41% of you said technology, and 41% said community, which is interesting, isn't it? And I wonder if it's I wonder if you mapped that against introverts versus extroverts, which one it would be. So like all of us introverts are like technology, and then all the extroverts are like community. I don't think it'll work exactly that way. I think it's just a combination. And I think you really can't have one without the other, because without the technology, we don't have the ability to facilitate the community. And without the community, the technology would be good and all, but it would just be for you to do your own thing. And then who would you share it with? And then who would you talk to about it? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. You've got a little thing there. Hello, Rhodey's Jam Cave. I hope you are well. Who haven't I said good day to? Vincent Bow or Bow. I've never quite caught up with exactly how to pronounce your name. I apologise. And anyone who I've missed, please do say g'day. We're just having a chat here today. We're celebrating summer, because I wish it was summer, and it is. The funny thing is that yesterday I was walking my daughter to school. She's 9, nearly 10, and I said to her, so you can smell the summer in the air. Summer's just around the corner. And she's like, yeah, tomorrow, Dad. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's legitimately the day before summer. Weird. But yeah, and the other thing is that I know that in the Northern Hemisphere, you do seasons based on the actual equinox, which probably makes more logical sense in terms of the actual weather patterns, but does make life more difficult, just like putting the month before the day and the date makes life a bit more difficult. But so it's not going to even change. So it's not even your winter yet until the 21st, question mark? I don't know. Maybe. Jamie Malander, I'm glad you're here and you're not pissy pantsing about anywhere else. I hope you're doing well and dropping on by, talking about summer, making people feel bad about the fact that it's probably coming into winter for you and for many folks in the northern part of the hemisphere, such as Audible Video. All right. So where are we at to? We were talking about so update what's happening here around the place. So the weekly shows are going to stay pretty much the same for the short term. So a couple of things. That Your Music Live is going to stay in its current time slot at least for the next month or two, but it's going to move a day early for Christmas and for New Year. So it's normal Friday 12 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean time slot, and that'll be the same for the next couple of weeks. And then the Christmas week, it'll be on the 23rd on the Thursday, and then on New Year's, it'll be on the 30th on the Thursday. So just for 2 weeks, we'll be shimming it a day earlier. And that's just to make sure that, because for you folks, it would be New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve, and for me, it would have been New Year's Day and Christmas Day. And there's something about me that didn't really want to get up at 6:30 a.m. on New Year's Day. As much as I love you and as much as I love doing the show, didn't seem like an appealing thing. So I've decided to make it a day early. The other shows that we're continuing to do, GarageBand Weekly, will stay at its sort of new time, which we're doing, for me, it's 9:30 a.m. on a Monday, which makes it a Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, which I think works well for your GarageBand fans. So that's going to stay the same. I'm going to continue doing my happy hour. So the happy hour is my weekly live show that I do. I do that basically Sunday at midday here. So it makes it in the evening, Saturday evening for folks in the US and Canada. Are really a bit too late for the UK and Europe folks, so I apologise for that, but you can always watch the replay, and it's like a nice kind of midday hang for my Australian friends on a Sunday. And if you don't know about the happy hour, I started it in March of 2020. At the very start of the global P word, when the C word was just kicking off, and basically thought, we'll do this for a few weeks because everyone was feeling a bit down, the community was feeling a bit down, and I'm like, I need to keep playing music. So I made it a happy hour so that we could get together, have a beverage, play some songs, play some acoustic songs, and just have a general good old time. And then, here we are in December of 2021, and we're still doing it. And look, I love doing it. I've learned a heap about my own playing and my singing. I think my performing's improved a heap. And if I could recommend anything to you, it is to do the same sort of thing. Even if you're not presenting or performing to a lot of people, learning new songs. I've learned so much about my own songwriting from covering other people's songs, just about chord progressions and about structures and then not to mention actually presenting and playing to an audience. Even though it's a virtual audience of maybe 20 or 30 people each week, that I'll be able to see. I can see what works well. I can see what doesn't. I can see what gets good reactions. I can see what gets, slightly meh reactions. So it's a really cool thing to do. So if you're a creator, if you're a performer, and you can't get out there and perform right now, think about doing live streaming. It is easier than you think. And even if you got your phone, even if you just set your phone up there and use the free version of StreamYard or Restream and just stream yourself, then that's cool too. Or just record yourself. You don't even have to stream it. You just record yourself. But practicing that skill of being able to just perform your music live, it's been a game changer for me. So I've been really thankful. The final show that we're doing, look, it may or may not continue in the future, and that is the town hall show that I'm doing. I do it at a bit of a weird time. I do it on a Thursday night here. What I'm actually looking to change that to is to actually chat to. You might have seen last week's I interviewed Kyan Burns, who's a great Australian singer and artist and musician. So I might actually do more of that because the time frames that I do a lot of my other shows are good for folks in most parts of the world, but really bad for folks in Australia. I might actually make the Creator Town Hall more focused on chatting with other people and more of an interview show to chat with other people about their experiences, particularly those in Australia, for the folks that don't get to catch the other shows. So we'll continue doing all of those. Here's the YouTube thing. So yeah, and you'll notice that I've changed my sort of thumbnail designs a little bit lately. So I've got more of these sort of colourful backgrounds, but keeping the same thing at the top there. So the GarageBand Weekly, the Happy Hour, Your Music Live, and the Creator Town Hall just gives us four weekly shows that we can have a bit of consistency with. So that will continue happening in the new year. Or if you're here and you're new, like Phantom Agents Clint Kelleher. Hello to you. Watch on the replay, but it's too early here now for once. Good stuff. Glad to have you here. Thank you for dropping on by. I'll just scroll down the chat here and see if anyone else. I'm going to have to put the air conditioner on for a bit. Sorry, you're going to have a little bit of background noise, but I'm going to pass out if I don't get some air flow coming in here. Music equals magic. I agree. Yeah, we've got Friggsy talking about more things, going back to live streaming quicker than expected. Yeah, at least live streaming exists. I think it's a great thing. Am I going to continue to point my way to 2022? Yeah, but not only that, I'm going to start doing the YouTuber face. Hang on, let's test it. So instead of just being a pointing Pete, I'm going to do the YouTuber face too. Just to annoy people who don't like the YouTuber face. Everyone's always so surprised. I can't believe I'm holding a product. Actually, while I'm holding these products, let's talk about that, because I was going to talk about that in a minute anyway. So for the folks that are patrons, you would have seen this already, or if you haven't, you can catch the replay. I actually installed this thing here. This is the Sabrent. We'll put it up there. The Sabrent 10-port triple 4K Type-C, basically a Thunderbolt docking station. So my MacBook Pro is now running through the Thunderbolt docking station, and it works really well. Just reaching over to it. It's a little on the warm side. It's probably the only mild concern I have. But yeah, everything plugs in through one USB-C connection, and I've literally got all my mixer, my audio interface, my webcam, and... They also sent me an SSD. They sent me this one here. So thank you to Jade Star. Shout out to you, who put me in touch with Sabrent. And there'll be some reviews on these coming soon. They're not cheap. I've already covered the budget way to do things using, USB-C hubs and things to connect up your gear. But if, like me, your livelihood or your creativity depends on the reliability of your stuff, this stuff is really good. And... can't tell you it's reliable yet because I haven't used it for more than an hour, but it's been rock solid for that hour, and I'll be putting it to the test over the next couple of days. So if you are in the market for something like that, for your MacBook or for your Mac or for your iPad, then yeah, you can see. Let me be your guinea pig again. And again, thank you to Jade and thank you to Sabrent for providing that, because I'm more than happy to be the guinea pig and to try these things out and make sure that they're going to work for you. I think Jamie Malinas says, I think focus on a favorite door is very constructive, but you've got to keep trying other things as to not get stale. Yeah, exactly. I'm exactly in that point at the moment where I really want to sink my teeth into Logic Pro, and I've still got 2 months left on my trial to do that before I just have to decide to buy it or not. But it's overwhelming. Like every time I grab GarageBand and just record, I feel home. Like I feel like I'm back in my comfortable space. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Audiences are scary sometimes, but you can maybe just search audience on Google Image. Yeah, just there you go. Practice to a picture of an audience or a video of an audience. Yeah, right. I'll just see if we got any other questions or comments. Yeah, Dave Fox freezing your arse off, and I'm putting on the AC. I know. It's hot here. It's like 30 degrees here today. Yay! Yep, pointing Pete's. Pointing at the stuff with the YouTuber face. Can you believe it? Absolutely. Please no, don't do it. I want to make more videos for 2022. Totally, yeah. Look, here's the thing. Yeah, should we do Embarrass Pete time? I want to do Embarrass Pete time, because if you've never done this before, I know I've done this before. I know, so folks that have been around the channel for a while, I know that you've seen me do this before, but I wanted to just, the coolest thing that you can do if you're feeling a bit down and you're like, oh man, I want to create more videos, but I'm never going to be able to create, like, insert name of creator here. Here's what you do, see. You go to their channel. How do I get to my channel? Your channel. So you go to someone's channel. We'll go to mine for this instance. You go to their videos tab, like so, and then you go to sort by, and then you sort by oldest. And go back in time and see the oldest videos that folks did. What was one that I was looking at this week that I thought was pretty cringy? Let's take a look at this one, because look, the thumbnail is just my face. I didn't even put a thumbnail on it, and it's effect settings for GarageBand. So let's take a quick look at this one, shall we? This is from 5 years ago, back in 2016? Yep, 15th of March 2016. Check out this iMovie-tastic intro here. We'll just watch it. I won't subject you to the whole 6 minutes, but we'll just watch a little bit of this. Take a look at this one here. Why is it all on the left?
Hey, Pete here for Studio Live today. And
There's a problem.
Today's iPhone GarageBand quick tip, we're going to be looking
Nice
at
second angle,
how
dude.
we can use the effects controls within GarageBand for iPhone to adjust our tracks. So let's jump in and have a look. So we've got here a very simple little track that's just got 3 tracks here, and it's just using some Apple loops. So let's play this one.
And it goes on like that. I don't know why it was only on the left-hand side. I'm going to keep playing. That was weird. Is that a YouTube thing? Or let's go to some others. You can see some I've gone back and tried to update. So some of these that have more views, it's still pretty dodgy. But I've put a fresh coat of paint on them. So go to this automation one.
And there, so this means automation
Listen to that
is now
audio.
active, and we can actually make a change. But we also need to slide across this slider, which will actually turn on our ability.
So the point I'm making here is not to make you cringe at the stuff that I did 5-6 years ago, but it's to say that you need to just start, because it doesn't matter if your audio quality is crap, if your video quality is crap, if you've got a shaky camera like I had there, if you whatever you're doing, just start creating, because the only way to learn and to grow is to just start. I always say, when you don't know where to start, just start, and everyone starts at 0. Just like Oscar. I'm sure Oscar started at 0. Hello. Hope you're well. Who have I missed? Do I like technology? I love technology. I don't like it. I love it. The information superhighway is my favorite place to be. My second mixer packed in a few days ago in the repair shop now. Do you have a live stream using GarageBand into StreamYard? I do. So do you mean on Mac or on PC? Because on Mac it's pretty simple, because actually it's simple, but it's not. The reason that I have both my Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 and my Samson Mixpad together is that it is hard to do that without 2 different devices. So what I do, I'll show you this live, because I was working. I can't show you my face on TV, but I was working on my I can't show you that because it actually says the name of the track. Hang on, let's just close this one off. I know, top secret. I don't do much secretive stuff, but when I have the occasional surprise, I want to make sure it's actually a surprise. So the way that I use GarageBand on Mac here is I just bring it up here, and under my settings, under my preferences, I just make my input the Scarlett and my output the Zoom, and then the Zoom is what the audio comes out here for StreamYard and for the live stream, and the input device goes through there. For iOS, it's a little bit different, but I do the same sort of thing. I have an audio interface for my iPad, and then I use Reflector 4 to send the video, and then I send the audio out through an audio interface into a channel on my mixer, and then bring it all together into StreamYard. So the reason I haven't done videos about my live streaming setup is it's not actually that simple. It's simple for me, but it involves an extra piece of kit every time. I know a lot of people have said, I want to just stream my GarageBand. I've got an audio interface. I want to plug in. I want the audio to go through GarageBand and then back out. And there's ways you can do that with software. There's a bunch of sort of virtual audio cable software and stuff that I couldn't get my head around. I'm a bit simple like that. So I just like to have the 2 different bits, so I can plug the thing into the other thing. BandLab Cubase is the only tool I would uninstall. Never tried BandLab. Should I try BandLab? You don't actually see anyone on live stream, makes it easier. Yeah, exactly. I'm not seeing anyone. I'm just looking at the little camera here. Hello. So yeah, you don't actually see an audience. I think that's why I can play to a camera a lot more than I could if there was real people in front of me. You can do it much on GB as Logic if you're creative with it. Yeah, and that's what I find. I like the workarounds. I like that stuff. Yeah, my face. I know. My face. Yeah, I love watching people's old videos. It's great when you go to a creator that you think's really cool. That video was from February 2016. Bubba. It's cool when you go to someone's account and you're like, yeah, all right. I know, it's one high-pitched voice. So the other thing that I've learned over time is it's cringy at first. Not everyone, most people hate the sound of their own voice, and most people hate the look of themselves on film. And I do too. And I still do for some respects, but I've just accepted it, come to terms with it, made my peace with it. But the one thing I did learn is that early on, I would speak too high and I would speak too quickly. And what I've done over time, and I would use too many ums and ahs. I still have my comfort word, which is ah, which I try to remove. let's try a challenge. Let's see if we can go no R's for the rest of the show. So, see, that's the problem. As soon as you have that brain fart, which you'd get as you get older, it's like, ah. But what I learnt was that the two things that make you sound more authoritative, or at least like you know what you're talking about, is slow and low. And there's been a whole bunch of research and things done into this. I won't bore you with the detail of it, but if someone is telling you something, and they're telling you like this, and they're saying, all you need to do is grab this and put this and do this, then they're not going to be as trusting. There's a reason why, like, the Walter Cronkite kind of news announcer voice is always down here and the radio DJ voice is down here, is that people listen more and tune more into a voice if it is slow, deliberate, and lower pitched than perhaps you would talk naturally. To the point now where I actually talk like this normally, unless I get really excited, and then it goes up about half an octave. But most of the time, I just talk like this now, and it's been an evolving thing over time. So yeah, it is different. I always get the toothpick one in my feed. The toothpick video. I know. Well, just watch it. Just watch it, Audible, and then it'll go away. Yeah, I know. More than 1 million people have watched me dig dirt out of my hole with a toothpick. Ding. Got rid of the up. I know. And I also learned that, you know what you don't ever want? You don't ever want a camera that's lower than your eye level. You always want your camera to be eye level, or preferably a notch higher, so it's looking down on you. Can't cringe at your early videos are great. Well, look, and the thing is, they did the job, Cam. They did the job. They got the information out there. People watched them. They didn't complain about them. They just watched them and went, oh, okay, now I know. So you can get away with having slightly crappy stuff if you have done that. If you make a reacting to my oldest videos video, I will unsub. Yeah, I think I already did that, didn't I? I definitely did it. I've done it before. I don't do an actual. I don't do reaction videos. I hate react to videos. I'm not saying I'll never do it, but I haven't been a fan. But I will do stuff like that. Not so much to be the YouTuber thing, but more as motivation. So the same with your old music. You should listen to your old music to see where you were and where you've come from. I reckon. I think so anyway. That's mine. That's my point, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Have I played with AUM yet? I haven't, Doctor. I've downloaded AUM. For those that saw GarageBand Weekly this week, I went a bit nuts, and I may or may not have bought about $60 worth of apps. I bought Agonizer, I bought AUM, I bought... What did I buy? I bought something else. I can't even remember now. But I went a bit nuts buying apps, but I haven't got around to playing with them yet. But I'm sure I will in the near future. I got to go watch some of Jade's videos about it so I can learn how it works. I find it weird playing to the camera, but it's never bothered me live. Yeah, see, that's the weird thing. I talk to people that have played. I think it's because I haven't played live for so long that I'm more used to just looking at a camera now than I would be a live audience. But it's a different thing. Pizza Rita voice. Well, that's the other thing. I think it's also not a coincidence that when I started doing the hockey announcing, the PA announcing at the ice hockey, that I had to, because we had such a crappy PA system and amp set up that the only way was to talk really loudly and really low. Sorry, I just clipped my input there. But yeah, that's it. I have a voice that is damaged. Well, look, yeah, and look, my ears have been damaged. My voice has been damaged. Like as you get older, your face holes are not as good as they once were. Right, low and slow, absolutely, low and slow. For the UK guys, I'm Ed Winchester. Okay, I don't know. That's obviously a reference that I don't understand. Was the silly ladies dropping on by? They're nice. They're fun. Hi, silly ladies. No, I wasn't going to give them. As you know, if you watch these on the replay or you're not part of the live chat, you probably don't even realize how awesome the moderators are, because they just handle situations so quickly and so effectively and efficiently that you won't ever know that anything's going on. It's just like, boom, up. Hang on, I thought someone said something weird there, and then they're gone. It's like, yeah. Sorry, face holes. That's the thing. We all have face holes. It's correct terminology, right? Wi-Fi says my dad was a radio DJ. In the horror song, he does the Vincent Price. Oh yeah, his voice is crazy deep. Yeah, in the morning, the light, and the dark of the thing, and the whatever. That's true. Don't feed the trolls, and they do. They keep the dickheads to the absolute minimum. We have a quota. We're only allowed maximum 2 dickheads per live stream. Any more than that, and it gets shut down. That's how it works. All right. So what do we have to go? Blah 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 blah. I think we're nearly at the end here. So yeah, thank you for hanging out, for celebrating the start of summer with me. Don't forget, if you're not already a patron, or if you want to consider becoming a Patreon, you can go over to there, which is Pete Johns. No, what is it? Patreon.com/PeteJohns or StudioLiveToday.com/Patreon. It is cool. Like, for those that are already patrons, yeah, we have good times. We do live shows most weeks, or if not every couple of weeks, and you get to see the behind the scenes stuff. If you're creating videos, and especially if you want to do similar stuff to what I do, we do. Like, I know that I've picked on people like Gary Hubbs. I've gone into his channel and I've torn him apart and given him a bunch of feedback and advice about what things he could be doing differently, or that he could be improving upon, or how he could get more reach and more exposure and all that stuff. So if you want the next level, you can do that. And do check out Studio Live Yesterday. Let's check if you go to StudioLiveYesterday.com if this is going to work for us. Yeah, there you go. So StudioLiveYesterday.com. Oh, I've got to fix that. I haven't edited my channel. So there are videos there. There's a couple there, but I haven't put my playlist on my front screen there. I'll do that immediately after. Or do you want me to show you how to do that? If you've got this same problem, so if you go to your channel and it says this doesn't exist, it means that you've got to actually go in and edit your channel here. Let's see if I can do that. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to swap my account over to here, just because others may have. If you were a home recording, shush. Others may have the same problem here. So if we go to customize my channel, what it means is I should just need to have some featured sections here. So let's just add a new section, and we'll add a single playlist, and I'll just put my retro recording gear playlist there. So I think it's just because I didn't have any of those. I didn't have section, although I did have already one section, but maybe adding a second section will actually do that. Because what it should do is put a channel trailer there, and then something for returning subscribers. In fact, let's just change this. We'll change this video to the other one, just so it's some variety there, because we only got 2 videos there. So we'll publish that, and that should mean that if we go to the channel now, if you were a home recording, that's better. So if you ever see that, if you go to your channel and you go to the home tab and it says this has no content, it's because you haven't gone into that customization and set that up yet. So just go in there and add yourself. See, it didn't have anything. It hadn't added that other playlist. So I'll just do that. And that way we've got a playlist there, and then you can go in and play around and customize it. I also have to fill in my about section because I haven't done that yet, which is slack. If you were a home record, shush. All right. So there you go. StudioLiveYesterday.com. We'll be doing some fun stuff over there as well. Exactly. Enjoy your summer. You got to remember, in 21 days to start getting longer. Exactly. And maybe we'll do a winter special for folks on the 21st for that. The other thing I wanted to mention, and shout out to our friend Russ 8889, friend of the channel. I'm glad he's not here in the stream today, actually, because this week in the happy hour, Beatles. Yeah, I had to do it because I'm watching the Get Back and I'm getting all inspired about the Beatles and how cool they were. So we're doing a Beatles tribute happy hour. So I'm getting my Beatles on. Maybe I need a Beatles week for that one. We'll see how we go. Thanks everyone for being here and for hanging out here. Was it Gary that just dropped in? Yeah, I was just talking about you, Gary. Your ears must have been burning because I just talked about you. Yeah, I know. I've fixed it now, Thomas. So it's all good. It's been bugging. It's been bugging poor Thomas. That is all going to be it for today. Please come on back and join me. The next couple of days are going to be a bit quiet. Just got a couple of video like tutorials and quick videos to show you, and then we will of course be back for the Your Music Live. So go to StudioLiveToday.com/YML if you want to submit a song, and that'll all be happening on Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Until then, folks, as we say at the end of every show, please be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, keep creating, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.